Hey, how you guys doing? This is Rich from Rich TV Live, a brand new company that I'm bringing to our community for the very first time called RE Royalties. Here's RE Royalties, currently at around $1.20 in Canada. And the symbol in America is RROYF, and the symbol in Canada is RE. It's RE in Canada. And if we look at the one-year chart, you can see that RE Royalties has come up from 70 cents to a high of $1.45 and is currently sitting right at $1.20. And this is a company that I think has a lot of potential. And I'm going to show you why. So if you've been watching Rich TV Live, you know that I'm a really big fan of tight float stocks. Tight float stocks, okay? A tight float stock to me is a stock that is very small share structure, doesn't have too many shares issued and outstanding, isn't going to be a diluted mess, okay? When you see companies with 50 million shares or less, in my opinion, that's what I consider a tight float. Even 100 million shares or less, depending on how it's structured, can be considered a very tight float. This is 32 million shares. This is almost half of what I consider a tight float. So when you get to like 30 million shares or less, then you get what I consider a super tight float. And then when you get a market cap of only $25 million market cap, that is what we consider a baby market cap. That's like a baby company, okay? RE Royalties is a company that really isn't on too many's radar yet, isn't on too many people's watch list yet. Too many people don't know about this company yet because the reality is it's underexposed, it's undervalued, it's underappreciated. So let's get into it. How can investors know if a project is truly green? So RE Royalties website is rroyalties.com, okay? And I want to talk to you about some of the key things with RE Royalties right here, right now, while we're live and interactive. So first of all, let's just go to the home page here. Investing in a clearer, cleaner future. This is all about investing in a clean future. RE Royalties is an innovative finance company specializing in renewable energy. And if you know anything about Rich TV Live, I love renewable energy. I love technology. I love anything that is futuristic. And I believe this is the type of company that has a chance to become a green energy player. So you can learn more on their website. RE Royalties, Renewable Energy Finance. We provide innovative financing solutions for our renewable energy clients when traditional options aren't available or suitable. We strive to create value for our investors through the acquisition of long-term, recurring royalty stream and high reinvestment of capital to drive growth, combined with strong capital protection and low operating costs. You can join their mailing list and take a look at their website. It's rroyalties.com. Now I want to go back to how can investors know if a project is truly green? So the market for green bonds is expanding dramatically. And real quickly, RROYL in America, sorry, RROYF in America, RE in Canada is the name of the company, RE Royalties, and the symbols. Just getting this updated here so you guys can see. And make sure that everybody is aware of the symbols in Canada and in the United States. Now, it's funny because I met with this company at an investor conference months ago, earlier in the year, probably around January. Yeah, this is green energy. And this is a company that right away I was interested in. I was interested in for many, many reasons. So I'm going to get into why I was interested in the company, why I think they have a lot of potential, and why I think this is a company that everyone should put on your watch list and everyone should put on your radar. Now, remember, Rich TV Live is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. Always do your due diligence, always do your research before you invest in anything that we talk about here, okay? I want to make that very clear first and foremost, okay? Past performance is not an indication of future results. Yes, this is a stock that's up. This is a stock that I believe in, but the key is we need to find the bottoms and we need to buy the dips, okay? In my opinion, based on the way this has been trading, anything under $1 would be where I would consider buying the stock, because based on the way it's traded, every time it's gone under $1, it's come back up. So I believe that's really, in my opinion, kind of like the zone where I'd like to position myself. Now, there's no guarantee it's going to go back down there. Sometimes they just continue to go up. You can see that the high has been $1.45, right? The high in Canada is $1.45 and the low is 70 cents, and it's got very little volume. So it's got very little trading volume. It's not like this high volume trading stock, okay? It's a company that's undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed. I do believe there's a lot of upside here, but I also believe as a company that's getting started, there isn't a lot of liquidity. There isn't a lot of volume. So we're really getting into this and explaining this and learning this early before anybody else on the planet. So how can investors know if a project is truly green? The market for green bonds, and this is a company that does green bonds, okay, is expanding dramatically as investor sentiment towards environmental issues intensifies. But the industry and standards are still evolving. Investors are left wondering how green projects being funded truly are. According to BNN Bloomberg, approximately 90% of green bonds issued are externally reviewed to ensure proceeds are used to finance or refinance green projects. Investors should seek out green bonds that follow an established framework with recognized third-party verification. The most used framework are the green bond principles endorsed by the International Capital Market Association, ICMA, and the Climate Bonds Initiative certification. The largest third-party verifier against these standards, the Center for International Climate Research, CICERO, builds on the guidelines to give investors an indication of how green the projects are based on the projects funded. CICERO uses 3 shades of green. Dark green is for projects that correspond to a long-term, low-carbon and climate-resilient future, such as clean, renewable energy. Medium green is for projects that represent steps towards a long-term vision, but are not there yet, such as plug-in hybrid buses. And light green is for environmentally projects that do not alone contribute to the long-term vision, such as efficient fossil fuel infrastructure. Such standards help investors select investments based on the level of environmental impact that would like to make in their portfolios. So these are the shades of green. Pretty cool. You can see the different examples down below. Green bonds are an innovative and important financial instrument to help achieve global and national emission targets. The green bond market has been growing rapidly over the past several years. In 2019, Canadian $9.6 billion in green bonds were issued in Canada, and US $255 billion were issued globally. While this still represents a small portion of new bond issuances, this emerging sector will be becoming more mainstream and on the radar for climate-conscious investors. For investors wanting to take climate action, green bonds provide a stable, predictable, fixed income investment with measurable impact benefits. So check this out. This is like receiving a dividend. RE Royalties green bonds earn 6% annually. Check this out. Our secured green bonds have a 5-year term and offer investors 6% interest. Now, we are a trading academy, and as a global community investors, I'm always looking for ways for investors to make more money. This is a way to make a guaranteed rate of return on your investment by buying a stock and by investing in a company. you can now get a guaranteed rate of return of 6% a year on your money, which means calculated annually and paid quarterly. So they pay you, it's like a dividend. So this bond is like a dividend. And I honestly don't know too many other $1.20 stocks that are paying a 6% annual dividend, which means if you put in $100,000, you will make $6,000 a year in guaranteed annual bonds or dividends, which will be paid to you quarterly. So every 3 months, you would make $1,500. Not bad. Pretty cool, right? So I thought this was pretty cool and very unique and something that I thought everyone should know about because nobody knows. So might as well let everybody know. So as a person who is always trying to keep my thumb on the pulse, I always think it's important to let everybody know what is available to them first and bring you into undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed opportunities first. That is our modus operandi. That is always our objective, is to bring you undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed opportunities first. And I know for a fact, I have not seen anybody in the world talk about RE royalties. Fact. So let's just talk about this. The RE Royalties green bonds invest in growing the clean energy sector while offering investors a secured 6% annual return paid quarterly for 5 years. As an investor, you can take advantage of the growing renewable energy sector while making a measurable impact on the environment. The minimum investment is $5,000. So they're looking for a minimum of $5,000 to invest, and our green bonds are eligible for registered accounts such as RRSPs, TFSAs, RRIFs, and RESPs. That's super cool. Honestly, I don't know who else is doing this. I don't know if anybody else is doing this. Okay. You can read the full version of this article in the Responsible Investment Association digital magazine. You know, it's funny. I've been following RE Royalties on Instagram for quite some time, and I was messaging them and I was watching them evolve. And I remember watching them and meeting them at the conference. And I've been saying to them, I need to get you guys on our show. I need to get you guys on our show. I need to get you guys on our show. And then they finally agreed, yeah, we need to get on your show. So here we are talking about RE Royalties. And as I dig deeper into this company, I'm starting to identify how much I really like them. I am working on getting the CEO or one of the management on the show. Stay tuned. If I do get one of the management on the show, I'd love to have you guys on so you guys can ask questions and you guys can learn more. But if I invest $5,000 into this or more, I will also let you know because I love dividends and I want our community to learn how to build long-term wealth. A 6% annual dividend or bond is a great way to make interest on your money. And if this is a 5-year investment, that means in 5 years, you're going to make a guaranteed 30% return on your money. It's pretty good. Now, that doesn't guarantee where the stock is going to go, but on the money you invest, if you put in $100,000, in 5 years, you can expect to make a guaranteed 30 grand, $6,000 a year paid quarterly, $1,500 every 3 months for the next 5 years. That's not bad. Now, assuming more and more people are investing in these bonds, you'd also assume that the stock is going to go up because that means there's more money going into the company's treasury. So assuming the company isn't going to dilute their stock and they maintain a tight float, I think this is a business model that could be phenomenal, that could yield phenomenal growth with this business model. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the stock go higher. So green bonds finance renewable energy projects. While investing in equity does present certain risk given the fluctuations of equity markets and performance of individual companies, green bonds present an alternative way to invest in the renewable sector by offering a more predictable fixed income style return. In contrast, by buying shares and owning a piece of a renewable energy company. Green bonds are a loan from the investor to a company to be used exclusively for investing in green projects. I like it. This is the RE Royalties green bonds. I'm going to learn everything I can about these green bonds. And I promise you, if I do make an investment, I will let you guys know. And if you guys are interested in making an investment, please let me know. I will put you in direct contact with the company. All you need to do is email me at richtvlive@gmail.com. And I would love to introduce you directly to the company. Green bonds, guys. Once again, I'm the first to bring you guys this. Nobody in the world bringing you guys this. When I found out about this, I thought it was epic. And I thought, you know what? This is something I need to bring to my community first before anybody else on the planet, because we want to get in early before this thing explodes. So RE Royalties, green bonds, climate proof your portfolio. RE Royalties green bonds invest in growing the clean energy sector while offering investors a secured 6% annual return. I was so excited to bring this to our community because I just thought it was different, and I thought it was unique, and I thought it was, you know, something that I haven't really seen. And when I see things that are unique, those are the types of things that I think have enormous potential. The investor receives interest income on their investment, typically higher than a savings account or GIC. I think that's way higher than a savings account or GIC over a defined period of time, otherwise known as the term of the bond. At the end of the term, the investor receives the full value of the principal back. Okay, so this is not investing in the stock. This is strictly making an investment in the company. You cannot lose. So if you put 100 grand in the company, at the end of 5 years, you will get your 100 grand back. But during the term of the 5 years, you will make $30,000 on your money. If you put $1 million in this company, over a period of 5 years, you will make $300,000 on your money, guaranteed. And over 5 years, after 5 years, you will get your $1 million back. So you will make a guaranteed 300 grand in profit, paid quarterly, which would be 60,000 a year over a period of 5 years. So 60,000 a year, broken down quarterly, which is every 3 months, would be $15,000 every 3 months. So if you put $1 million in this green bond, you would make $15,000 every 3 months. This is how the rich get richer. Because if you got millions sitting there, you can now go and invest $1 million with a company like this, and you can now just make 60 grand a year, essentially free money on your million, and know that over the next 5 years, you're going to make 300 grand, and then you're going to get your $1 million back. Sounds like a great investment to me, but that's just me. Good morning, Seth. Good morning, Robert. Hey, Crypto Man, how you doing? Yeah, I think this is going to be really cool. And like I said, I haven't seen anything like this before. That's why I think it's important to bring it to your attention. So the investor receives interest income on their investment, typically higher than a savings or GIC over a defined period of time, otherwise known as the term of the bond. At the end of the term, the investor receives the full value of the principal back. In general, bonds are lower risk than stocks because the repayment takes legal priority, also known as seniority, above shareholder equity. That said, most green bonds are not secured against the projects themselves, particularly in the case of renewables. For more investor security, some green bonds are senior secured against the underlying assets, but these are rare, about 4% globally. While green bonds offer more predictability and security, the one downside to green bonds is that they are usually illiquid, which means the investor usually must wait until the end of the term for the full principal to be returned. RE Royalties green bonds invest in growing the clean energy sector while offering investors a secured 6% annual return paid quarterly for 5 years. After the 5 years, you get your money back. I love it. As an investor, you can take advantage of the growing renewable energy sector while making a measurable impact on the environment. The minimum investment is $5,000, and our green bonds are eligible for registered accounts such as RRSPs, TFSAs, RRIF, and RESPs. Now, I love the fact that I could buy an RESP, like my children's education fund, with this bond. In fact, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about, contributing some money to my daughters. I do $2,500 a year. So now I'm going to go to RBC. I do it through RBC, and I'm going to go find out if I can just contribute through my RESPs. And if I can, then not only do I get money back from RBC, every year I put in $2,500, RBC gives me another $500 from the Canadian government. And then in addition to that, I'm also going to be getting a guaranteed 6% on that $2,500 and anything additional I invest. I love that. I absolutely love that. I think that's a great idea. And I'm totally interested in this. Like I said, I'm just now learning about this now. So as I learn more and more about this, I will continue to let you guys know what I've done, if anything, so that you guys can be aware of all the moves that I'm making. Okay. This is RE Royalties in Canada, RE. I don't see any volume yet. I see the stock stuck at $1.20. If anything changes, I will let you know. Okay, RE Royalties. So green bonds help investors fight climate change. According to the International Energy Agency, carbon-based electricity generation contributed over 30% of total global greenhouse gas emissions in 2018, by far the largest source of global greenhouse gas emissions, GHG emissions. To minimize the impact of climate change and meet the Paris Agreement's goal to limit the increase in global warming to 2 degrees Celsius, Morgan Stanley research estimates that the world needs to spend US $50 trillion over the next 30 years in clean energy and technology. To minimize the impact of climate change and meet the Paris Agreement's goal to limit the increase in global warming to 2 degrees Celsius, the world needs to spend 50 trillion US over the next 30 years in clean energy and technology. That's a big number. That's where RE Royalties, as a relatively new company, comes in. The International Renewable Energy Agency forecasts that US $750 billion a year is needed in renewables alone over the next decade. The question on the minds of many investors is not whether to join in this growth, but how to channel capital into wind, solar, hydroelectric, bioenergy, energy efficiency, and geothermal projects to help slow and mitigate climate change. Green bonds represent an exciting opportunity for socially and environmentally conscious investors who want to make sure their dollars are going towards protecting and restoring the environment. Investors can reduce the carbon intensity of their portfolios in many ways through funds that exclude fossil fuels, integrate ESG factors, or focus on positive impact. RE Royalty green bonds earn 6% annually. Unsecured green bonds have a 5-year term and offers investors 6% interest calculated annually, paid quarterly. And if you are interested in investing in these bonds, just email me, richtvlive@gmail.com. I will put you in direct contact with the company. The minimum investment is $5,000. I'm just learning about this now, and I'm very interested. And if I do invest in this green bond, I will let you know. And if I invest, I may do something bigger. I might do like 50 grand. And that way 6% on 50 grand would be what? Well, 10% on 50 grand would be 5 grand a year. So 6% on 50 grand would be about $3,000 a year. So if I put in 50 grand, I would be making a guaranteed $3,000 a year for the next 5 years. So if I put in 50 grand, I would make $15,000 a year over the next 5 years, guaranteed. And then I would get my $50,000 back. Not bad. And I'd be helping the environment. RE Royalties green bonds invest in growing the clean energy sector while offering investors a secured 6% annual return paid quarterly for 5 years. As an investor, you can take advantage of the growing renewable energy sector while making a measurable impact on the environment. The minimum investment is 5,000 Canadian, and our green bonds are eligible for registered accounts such as RRSPs, TFSAs, RRIF, and RESPs. Now, I don't know if you can invest in this if you're outside of Canada. That's a question I need to ask the company, because it seems as though I'm sure you can, but I'm sure if you did that, you wouldn't then be eligible for RSPs, TFSAs, RRIFs, and RESPs, which I believe are all just Canadian products. But I'd have to find out, and I will find out for international investors, because we have so many international investors that are part of our community, both on YouTube and on social media, following us all over the world on all of our social media platforms, and within our trading academy, which is growing exponentially on a global scale. And we have members that are joining from literally all over the world, from England, Switzerland, Jamaica, Canada, the United States, and many other countries. So this is one of those companies that I think has a lot of potential. And I think that this is the type of company that if you are looking to make a secure investment, this is a great way to go. So this is the green bonds section of the website. So these are the green bond highlights. So income earned 6% annually. Security, secured against a portfolio of assets. So your money that you're investing is being secured against a portfolio of assets to ensure that you're not going to have your money disappear. Impact, used to finance clean energy projects. Registered accounts, RRSPs, TFSAs, RRIFs, and RESPs are all eligible. RE Royalties green bonds, investing in a cleaner, greener future. RE Royalties green bonds will be used to finance investments made in renewable energy generation, energy efficiency management, and sustainable infrastructure. As an investor, you can take advantage of the growing renewable energy sector while making a measurable impact on the environment. Our secured green bonds will have a 5-year term and offer investors 6% interest calculated annually and paid quarterly. So you have to wait for your money back for 5 years, but your interest gets paid to you quarterly. So every 3 months, you get paid your interest. I like that. The minimum investment is $5,000, and our green bonds are eligible for registered accounts such as RRSPs, TFSAs, RRIFs, and RESPs. Click on Learn More. This is the green bond offering. So this is what they're doing for the green bond offering. They're raising up to $20 million, and the price is $1,000 per bond, minimum of $5,000, held for 5 years, which is the term. The interest rate 6% per year, paid quarterly. Registered account eligibility, RRSPs, TFSAs, RRIFs, LIRA, and RDSPs. Security is a security agreement framework, ICMA, Green Bond Principles 2018, verification, an independent auditor, and the bond trustee is Western Pacific Trust Company. Here we go. Who can invest in RE Royalties green bonds? RE Royalties green bonds provide different types of investors with opportunities to invest with impact. They are available to investors in non-registered or registered accounts across Canada. Please sign up on our green bond registration list to receive information on how to invest. So it looks as though this is only for Canadians, but I will find out for sure. Okay, is there a minimum or maximum investment? The minimum investment is $5,000, purchased in increments of $1,000 per bond. There may be a maximum investment size depending on your province and other factors under Canadian securities law. Please speak with your financial advisor and your individual financial institution. How is your investment protected? RE Royalties green bonds are senior secured against the underlying assets of the company. Unlike most competing green bond options, please review the RE Royalties green bond offering memorandum for further details on how your investment is protected. So you can find all the information on the offering memorandum. We can click on that right now. So this is what the offering memorandum looks like. So obviously they're doing a maximum of $20 million. All the details of the offering are here in this offering. So I'm not going to obviously go through this entire thing right now, but all of this information is available to you if you guys are interested in learning more. I just think this is different. And I haven't really talked about dividend paying stocks, and I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but I haven't really talked about dividend paying stocks much, but this is essentially like paying a dividend. This is like having a dividend. Okay. And it's a 5-year hold, but if you're looking to make an investment in something long-term, this might be the way to go. And if you're not looking for risk, and if you're not looking for volatility in the market, this might be the way for you to go. At the very least, I think it's something you should consider and you should be aware of. And I don't think a lot of people were aware of this. I know I wasn't. So I wasn't aware of any of this. So for me, this is something that I find very interesting. And as an investor, if I was looking for a long-term investment that would be yielding me consistent dividends, consistent returns, this is something I'd have to consider. Now I haven't even gone through their assets. I haven't even gone through their assets yet, but I'm going to a little bit here real quickly. So let's just go to TMX Money. This is how I research my companies, guys. I put a lot of time into these companies trying to identify undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed opportunities, reading their news, reading their financials, looking at their share structures. There's actually a method to the madness, okay? Oh, look at that. I talk about RE Royalties, and they are now up 4%. It's traded 1,500 shares, and it's at $1.25 now. So you talk about a stock, and it immediately starts to rock. Nothing new. It's kind of used to this at this point. And just looking for the news, I'll just scroll down. Now that's not a lot of volume, guys, but this is not a very high liquid volume stock yet. Okay, so the latest news. So this was their latest news right here on August 11th. Let's just read this. RE Royalties announces inaugural green bond offering of 10 million led by Integral Wealth Securities Limited. So a month ago, this was 10 million. It's now grown to 20 million. I'm not going to go through all the details, but you could see here that they had the option on August 11th to increase this to 20 million. And obviously they have now done that. And it started with 10 million. And this was the news a month ago. So I'm going to try to get the CEO or someone from the company on the show. And when we do, I'm going to ask them a lot of questions about this bond offering. I'm going to try to find out how much money has actually already come in. If they're willing to share that information, would be great. So we can get an idea of how much money's already been invested and get a feel for, how it's going. But this seems really interesting. I think it seems really cool. And it's one of those types of deals that at the very least, we need to be aware of, right? You can see here that, let's see, is there a quote here? RE Royalties in America, Rroyf. Very little volume in America. It trades an average of 33 shares a day over the last 3 months. So almost never trades in America. So this is undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed, tight floater, and nobody even really knows, right? And there it is. Now in Canada, up 8%, just like that. So now all of a sudden it's up 8%. And it's traded 3,500 shares, nothing huge, but it's up 8%. And we're live and we're talking about it. and clearly people are starting to learn about it, and clearly people are starting to buy the stock. Let's take a look at some of your messages. Jeanette asks, will we pay taxes after 5 years on the 6% annually? Yes, I believe so, and I'll find out. You will always have to pay taxes on income, in my opinion. However, if it's structured as a TFSA, or if you structure it as an RESP, then you can reduce or even eliminate the taxes that you pay. So it's important that you communicate with an accountant to determine how you want to structure your investment. But I'm thinking about doing this through my RESPs, my registered education savings plans with my children. Every single year I contribute $2,500. So I could do that through my RESPs and have the flow through revenue flow back into my children's registered education savings plans. I think that's a great way to invest. It's a safe way to invest. It gives me and my children a guaranteed rate of return, and it also secures and protects the money that I'm investing. So from that perspective, I think it's brilliant. So if you're looking to find a way to make an investment, but you're looking to avoid taxes, that's the way to avoid taxes, in my opinion. TFSAs, RESPs, and if you want to learn how to do that, I think it's important that you consult your accountant, and they should be able to walk you through that because that's what they do. That's their job. Any thoughts on sixth wave innovations? I'm not familiar with them. I'd have to look into them, but thank you for the pick. I will look into it. Jeanette says, using the registered accounts have a lot to do with not having to pay taxes when you open an account. I'm not sure which is the best. I would be using either the TFSA or I would be using the RESPs. In my opinion, that's the best way to go. But that's the way I'm structured. I've got a TFSA and I've got RESPs. So for me, I'm already structured to do that. So it's just easy for me to plug and play. But like I said, you should consult your own accountant and a financial advisor to determine what's the best way for you to structure yourself. KNR is rising. Well, yeah, we told you it would. So I don't think anyone should be too surprised. Sixth wave, revive, and control are my COVID-based holdings. You know what? I'm going to have to look into sixth wave. I'm not even familiar who they are or what they do, but thank you for your pick. I am familiar with Revive, and obviously I'm all over control. I did buy 3,000 shares. I'm obviously up on my control, and I'm very happy about that. And right now we're looking at RE Royalties, and they're up 8%. So I'm very happy about that too. So always excited when I can bring you guys someone and something first, and they do well. That's always my modus operandi. If I look at the one-day chart and I look at the 1 minute, we pull it up. Did we get as high as 134 today? No, the high today is 130. We just zoom in. I'm gonna look at the 1 day. Just gonna look at the 1 day chart. I'll look at the 5 day. So the 5 day chart, and we look at the 1 minute. You can see we're right at 130. The high of the last 5 days is 134. The low was 111. And like I said, with RE Royalties, if you can pick this up at $1 in Canada or less, in my opinion, that's the buy zone. Now, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't buy it at 130. It might go way higher. I'm just trying to say, as an investor, you're always trying to get the lowest possible price. Now, this might skyrocket and shoot up to $2. It's a tight floater. Anything's possible. I'm just saying I've been watching this for a year, okay? And over the last year, well, not for a year, since January. And since January, I've watched this. And every time it gets to around this zone under $1, that's the buying opportunity. Clearly, you could see it. Like every time it gets to like the dollar zone, right? That's the buying opportunity. Every time it reaches that zone, it bounces from there. So I'm not saying don't buy it at $1.30, but like any stock, as an investor, you want to try to get in as low as humanly possible. Sometimes things are going to run and you got to get in before it's too late. KNR is a great example like that, right? So I don't know if this is going to go back to $1, but Just recently, it was back to $1. Okay. August 17th. So just recently, it was back to $1, and now it's made this big move up. So always try as an investor to look for dips. Sometimes you need to chase, and sometimes you need to follow the momentum. Clearly, the momentum is going up right now on people buying with nobody selling. Okay. The markets are supply and demand. When people buy, things go up. When people sell, things go down. So when people are buying and there's nobody selling, stocks go up. That's just the way it goes. And that's what's happening right now with RE Royalties. A little bit of buying has come in, stock has gone up. Nobody's selling. Why? Because nobody knows about this company. So now I'm putting them on your watch list. I'm putting them on your radar. I'm making you aware of them. So now people are going to start to know about the company, and people are going to start to look into it. People are going to start to research it. Some of you may be interested in doing the green bond investment, right? And if you're interested in doing this bond investment, just let me know. Email me, richtvlive@gmail.com, and I'll send it directly to the company, and you can deal directly with the company. You don't have to deal with me. Deal directly with the company and learn how you can make a guaranteed 6% return on your money for a guaranteed 5-year investment while supporting green renewable energy. And I think it's a great cause. I really do. So who is RE Royalties? They were established in 2016, a leading specialty financing company focused on the renewable energy industry, investing in late-stage development and operating projects to generate a recurring revenue stream. Established in 2016 and listed on the TSX Venture in 2018. $24 million raised and invested to date. $24 million, guys. 86 royalties on solar, wind, and run-of-river projects operating across Canada, the United States, and Europe. 948,000 megawatts a year in clean energy generating, 320,000 plus tons of greenhouse gases, GHG avoided and reduced. Environmental impact of projects invested in equivalents to GHG avoided. Homes powered, 117,000. Cars removed, 69,000. Tons of waste recycled, 109,000. Trees planted, 5.3 million. Here's the key investment highlights. Strong and secured return while climate proofing your portfolio. Green bond offering at 6% for 5 years. Senior secured to protect your investment. Love it. Never seen anything like this, guys. Growing concern for environment is driving investment. Global green bond market grew to $254.9 billion in 2019. Experienced and recognized management and board. Management has 75 plus years in finance and renewable energy, more than 1.34 billion of projects delivered and invested. Compounded annual revenue growth of 141% since 2016. Benefits from a first mover advantage, no existing secured debt. You guys know I love companies with no existing debt. Energy generation is an essential service. So you can see the size of the bond offering. It's actually 20 million now. Each bond is $1,000 for a 5-year term at a 6% interest paid quarterly, which is every 3 months. The covenants are 1-to-1 debt to equity. They have 2 quarters interest reserve and 110% interest coverage. You can see the bond trustee is Western Pacific Trust Company. You can see the size of the market opportunity. So this is just a huge opportunity. Green renewable energy is a booming sector. And if you know me and you watch Rich TV Live, you know I love identifying growing sectors. Electric vehicles, green energy, plant-based foods. You know it. I love hot sectors, tech sector, COVID-19 right now, testing. Anything to do with technology and the future, I'm in. I'm all about it, right? I brought you guys Beyond Meat. They exploded. I brought you very good food, plant-based food stock at $1.08. They exploded. I brought you Control Energy. They've done over 10x. I did their interview last year. Another green energy company and technology company that's now in the COVID-19 quality air testing space. And that stock has exploded 10x. So these are the types of companies that I really love. And these are the types of companies that have a chance to explode. Wow, renewable energy accounted for 26.2% of global energy production in 2018. This is expected to rise to 45% by 2030. See, I had no idea that green renewable energy is already accounting for 26% of global energy production. That is incredible. That is proof that we are having a major change and a shift. And people are starting to take green energy, renewable energy, very, very serious. You can see the technology cost declines over the years in solar, wind, and storage. So pretty excited about this company. I'm going to continue to do more research. I'm going to continue to do more due diligence and continue to just learn more about this company. But guys, let me know what you think. If you like this video, smash the like button. If you like this company and you like the idea of investing in this green bond, minimum $5,000 investment, and with a opportunity to get a guaranteed 6% return on your money, and the opportunity to build equity in yourself, having a secure investment with a guaranteed rate of return for 5 years, 6% a year, paid quarterly. I think it's great. And if you guys are interested in learning more, just email me at richtvlive@gmail.com. And what I'll do is I will actually forward your email directly to the company so you can deal directly with the company and see if you are interested in making an investment to give you a guaranteed rate of return of 6% a year for 5 years while helping the environment. I think this is great. I think it's a great cause. And this is why I brought it to your attention. This is RE Royalties. I believe I'm the first one ever to bring this pick to your attention. And they are now up, while we are live, 8%. RE Royalties is RE in Canada, and it is Rroyf in America. Once again, if we go to security details, you will see 32 million shares issuing outstanding, which is a very tight float. I'm very impressed with what I see from this company. This is a sponsored video. This is a company that I am working with to help create exposure, help create visibility, and help investors learn more. So remember, Rich TV Live is strictly for education, entertainment purposes. Always do your due diligence. Always do your research before you invest in anything that we talk about here on Rich TV Live. If you're not winning, you're probably not watching. We bring in the winners and we bring them to you first. We've had a phenomenal track record. I'm going to be adding RE Royalties to our website, to Rich TV Live, but you can see our track record. It speaks for itself. Our winners have been just exploding nonstop. And you can see right here, if you go to richtvlive.com and go to Rich's Picks, I will be adding RE Royalties to this list for my September picks, but RE Royalties will be added here and you can see the list of the winners. It's long and strong, and we'll just continue to add more winners to our list. Thank you guys for watching. This is Rich from Rich TV Live. Hope you all have a great week. Big fan of RE Royalties and their bond offering, a $20 million bond offering, paying guaranteed interest. And the way it works is you make an investment, it's held for 5 years. They pay you your interest quarterly. Let's say you put in $100,000. You get $6,000 a year guaranteed, paid to you quarterly. So you would get $1,500 every 3 months, paid to you quarterly for 5 years. And then at the end of 5 years, your $100,000 will be then returned to you. That's how it works. Thank you guys for watching. This is Rich from Rich TV Live, bringing you RE Royalties, RE in Canada, Rroyf in America. And I'm out. Peace.